I'm Angela Creason. I want to show you today a project that I've always heard it called the Fabulous Folding Photo Holder, but some other people I've heard call it an explosion album. It's been around for a while. This is a sample. I'm just throwing this project together today, but here's one I did a few years ago, and this is a larger one. We're going to make one that's a little smaller that looks a little better for photos. You probably can't see the whole thing, this one's kind of big. What you're going to need is some chipboard that's about 4.5 inches. You'll need 2 pieces of this. As you can see, I wasn't having a problem with using a cereal box, but you can definitely find chipboard or a corrugated board that's a little thicker. You're going to want 2 pieces of 6x6 paper. Thinner paper is a little easier for this. You're going to want 3 pieces of 8.5 by 8.5 cardstock, and a bone folder, and red line tape, and of course scissors and regular adhesive as well. I'm going to go ahead and cover. I've already covered one piece of chipboard, so we're going to cover the other one just to make it a little easier to get going here. This paper is not see-through, so I don't really care what we're going to, how I'm going to put the adhesive on here, or which side of the chipboard we show. Then I'm going to trim the edges, not all the way to the corner. Leave yourself a little room there, because when you miter those corners, you want it to come out a little easier. And if you use heavier cardstock, you definitely want to trim these edges. And if you have a better technique for trimming those edges or mitering corners, I would love to hear about it. Paper is a little bit more challenging than fabric, but I know that some quilters out there and people who like to sew probably have some great ideas for that. So anyway, I put it regular adhesive on here, and then I'm just going to fold the corners in and fold them nice and smooth and tight. You can use a bone folder or not, if you want here or not, and it makes a pretty nice little cover. I'm trying to skip some of the steps. I'm just throwing this project together today, so I don't even have a sample for you to see. So here's one covered, and I've covered the other one, but we'll get to that in a second. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to fold the 3 8.5 by 8.5 square. What you're going to do is you're going to fold it like a hot dog. So I've been told this is an easy way to tell you. And you're going to use your bone folder and smooth out that fold. You can open it back up and fold it the opposite direction. Then what you're going to do is do the same thing. Now I'm going to open it up and flip it over. And then you're going to do a taco fold. At least it sounds like it'd be a taco. You're going to do it on the diagonal, and you try to line up these corners the best you can. Now if you have another way of scoring other than this, then feel free to use it. There are some great scoring tools out there. Most Fiskars paper trimmers has a scoring tool you can buy, and then there's Score Pal. It kind of depends on how much you need to score. Then you open it back up, flip it back over again, and then it folds up like this. You see that? Let me do it again. So you've done your other fold, you open it back up, you flip it over, and then you kind of just let it close the way it's supposed to. So first I'm going to do a blue, then I'm going to do the red, and then I'm going to do the blue again. And I've already put some red line tape on here to save us a little time. Now the tricky part is assembling it so that it opens up right. So what I want to tell you is you're going to do the peak fold, the little top corner, and then the bottom opening is right here where all the pieces come together. So I'm going to call this my top, or heads. So you're going to do heads and tails. So the bottom one is going to be heads and then tails, and then the next one's going to be tails, then heads, and then the last one is going to be like the first one. So when it opens up, they'll pull on each other, and you have all your openings right here, and all your openings right here. Okay, so what we're going to do here is, and I have to do it like a triangle so that, or a diamond when I'm putting it together, so that I remember which direction I'm going to put it together. So I have my top corner where everything comes together at the top, and I'm going to peel back the backing for this red line tape. And then I'm going to lay my red piece, which is a coordinating piece, right on top of it. And excuse my head if it shows in the way. I'm going to try not to block your view. And so I carefully lay that down. You take your time, there's no big hurry. So already you can see it's going to do this. Alright? So you see, maybe you can see now kind of the direction we're going. Okay, so now I have all my opening end on this side, and so I'm going to lay this one so that all the fold comes here again, so that it's opposite, and that the pointy corner end is on the bottom. Remember, that's why I'm doing my diamond. So I'm going to pull off my pieces here. And of course, when I'm trying to do this in front of an audience, I can never peel anything off. There's a lot of things I can't do in public. You would think that I'd be able to do this fine without knowing that, or out seeing who you guys are watching me. Okay, so now, as you can see, this is going to be the insides. Look how fabulous that is. This is going to be great. So now I'm going to put the back cover on. You want a piece of ribbon about a yard long, but this piece is a piece of bandana, and I'm going to cut that. I'm going to tie a knot with this when I close it, because it needs something to hold it together, because you can see it's kind of springy. So I picked that, and I decided I wanted it a little wide, because I wanted a little bit of play with the texture. But usually I use a ribbon, just because it's easier. Okay, so before I set it down, I want it to open this way. So then, now if my head gets in your way, I'm sorry, I'm trying to be very careful. You want to center that over your opening, and if it's not quite too straight, don't worry about it. And I've already cut some 4-inch strips for this. So now I'm holding it down, and I'm flipping over my book. Okay, that's my top. I've got the right direction going there. And this, I'm sorry, this is upside down for you. I'll have to think of something better if I do ever record again. I'm going to kind of look at that and make sure I get it the straightest I can. Press that down. And so then you've got the basics of your book, and you can tie this together. You can leave it like this if you want, or you can embellish it. I'm a part of a kit club that I get every month from Scrapbook Junkies in League City, Texas. And on my blog I'll post a link. In fact, today's kit just came out, and it was Texas themed, which made me want to go ahead and use that. And as you can see, I had that paper already, but I'm just going to kind of throw this together and see. Here's the bandana. I used that already. This kit had some really cool stuff in it. It had a little pocket album, which will be fun to play with. Most of her kits are designed to work with 12 by 12 pages. And see, I saw the Texas themes, and I thought this would just be fun. Looks like these stickers would work. I'm going to set those aside, and let's see, here's a blue bonnet. Maybe I can use it. And see, that's a little big. This is definitely a little big. And here's another little embellishment. It's a Texas theme. It feels a little like metal, so there might be something in there I can use. And as you can see, there's, ooh, I might use some of that. And she gave us all sorts of pages. And some corkboard, which I already robbed some pieces out of here for this project. What I did was I cut a piece of chipboard, or not, sorry, excuse me, cork paper here. This is, it looks like there might be a backing, or, yep, there is. Awesome, but I don't want to leave it just like this. I think I want to sponge the edges to give it a little bit of character. So I'm taking the chestnut chalk ink, which a lot of people use, and I'm just going to go over these edges. I'm going to go ahead and put that down. And I'm not going to think too hard about this cover. Like I said, I didn't have this idea. I just saw the kit, knew it was available today, and went and got it. So I don't really know what I'm going to do here. So we're good. This has some edges, so now I'm just going to tie it up. And I'm doing it upside down for a reason, because for some reason I can do knots and bows better upside down, and I just take my time and watch how things are going to lay as I do it. And then I sprayed some of that smooch spray on the bandana too, just because I wanted to look, I mean, it's a license plate, so there you go. It kind of works out. You can kind of position, if you have to move stickers around a little bit, you can do that, and give things a little more texture. But there you go, the fabulous folding photo holder. Now, this is one I did about 7 years ago. It was my husband's chili cook-off, and as you can see, I did use the ribbon, and I used Shrinky Dinks. This is metal, copper, and what I did was I printed out this logo I had designed, and then embossed it. I put it on the back side and used a stylus and embossed it. So that one opens up like this. And so this is why I wanted to show you this one, because as you can see, 4x4 pictures fit in there really, really well. And one thing I would like for you to note is, see that there's a gap here on the mountain or the valley folds. You need the gap, as well as on the mountain folds. See the ones that fold up like that, just because when it closes up, you want it to be able to lay properly. And so the idea here is the pictures you don't want to cut, you would put on here, and then the ones where the focal point is slightly off a little more, that you don't care about, those are the ones I would use on the sides. And you can put some stuff on the back. I tried to keep that limited and did more journaling on the back on this one. But this has been a fun one. I leave that out on a table, and people open it periodically. And as you could see, I did the logo on the cover as I did on the t-shirts and on the actual chili stand that they did. This was for a chili cook-off. But that's one I did, and then I did a baby one the other day, and this one doesn't have any pictures in it yet, but I went to Scrapbook Junkie and got some little animals and stuff and a couple little baby things, and I thought this would be a fun little album for a friend of mine, which I'm going to give her tomorrow. Anyway, thank you very much for letting me show you this project. Please look at my blog and see if there's see the instructions I have there posted, and hopefully you can make a few of these as gifts for yourself.